Hey everyone, this is Tony, Dungeon Master of D&D Raw. And before we begin, I just wanted to say, if you enjoy D&D Raw, we would love it if you would support us on Patreon to hear new exclusive content and updates before anyone else. By contributing as little as $1 per month, patrons enable us to dedicate more time to creating episodes. Our higher level patrons get access to DM's notes, outtakes from our episodes, the chance to add an item or NPC to a D&D Raw episode, and even to join our monthly patron game. We wanted to thank all of our Adventure tier and above patrons for their support this month. So thank you Jeremy Kleinhans, a Linux fan, and Dark Queasy, and a very special thanks to our producer tier patron, Gnome, for serving as a producer on this episode. To find out more about how you can join this list of outstanding people, go to patreon.com/DNDRaw. If you're not able to support D&D Raw on Patreon, we would love it if you leave us a review on iTunes or wherever you listen to podcasts. Don't forget to check us out next week for Serviceable Plots Episode 13. But for now, on to Rumble Squad Episode 12, Collect the Treasures of the Gods. With me today are the following players.
Hi, I'm Chris, and I will be playing Auric Fireforge, the Hill Dwarf Forge Cleric.
Hi, I'm Jane, and I will be playing Nissa Turan, the Gnome Arcane Trickster Rogue.
Hi, I'm Nick, and I will be playing Luven Cromdell, the Half-Elf Alchemist Artificer.
Hi, I'm Rachel, and I will be playing Elaine Fox, the Human Druid Barbarian.
Last time, the party encountered several orcs in the vault of Neverhelm, as they tried to find the source of the cry of distress. Defeating the orcs, they captured one named Glosha, who showed them the path that her allies had taken as they traveled deeper into the ruins. The party encountered a massive wall of flames blocking their path, and feeling that Yadomine would protect him, Auric walked into the fire, and the party watched as he became consumed. Auric, you walk through and are unharmed, and you arrive on the other side.
Do I hear screaming?
You don't.
I mean, do I see anything that looks immediately like danger in front of me?
You see a large statue of the dwarven figure that you saw the mosaic for. Beneath it, it says, Avantir Anvalik. And below the engraving, it says, You have taken your first true steps. Ascend and behold my great works, that you may be inspired as I was. And you notice behind the statue is a staircase leading up.
Okay. I will turn back towards the flames and try and call out to my party members to let them know that I'm okay.
You guys don't hear anything except screaming that eventually just seems to get choked out.
Awesome.
The screaming that we hear, does it sound like Auric's voice, like his tone?
Any of you can roll wisdom to try and determine.
3.
13.
10.
It sounded like Auric. I mean, it's really hard to tell with that level of just piercing scream of someone like that's literally been burnt to a crisp. But, I mean, you've never heard Auric scream like that, but it sounded like it could have been him.
Checks out. Glosha, have you
Yes?
ever crossed through this fire?
No.
Have you seen anybody cross through this fire?
I was told guard entrance when we got here.
Do you have a symbol of your clan on you?
She points to her armor. You see the badly painted image of a skull with, like, little spikes around it. Auric, by the way, you yell, and there is no response.
So, Auric will wait a minute to see if they come through before doing anything else.
Okay, then we will pause on you.
Now that I'm looking at the fire, can I try and gauge whether it's magical?
Roll Arcana.
16.
I mean, it's possible it's magical. It's really hard to tell. If it is magical, I mean, it could still completely destroy you. It's hard to tell if it's an illusion or not.
Yeah, okay.
I am going to offer back to Glosha her axe and her armor and say, in good faith, I'm trusting you with this. These are yours. And just kind of give her the look of, don't screw us over kind of look.
Roll one more persuasion check.
9.
She takes the weapon and the armor, nods, and starts to put the armor on.
Okay. I'm going to look to Nissa and Luven. Your choice is stay with Glosha or go through.
I'm going in after him.
You guys are seriously thinking of going through there? What?
If Rydaht came this way, I don't see any other option.
So fire?
It will burn away any misgivings.
My only misgivings is that thing. I don't have any others. Seriously, and I don't believe in any of this nonsense. That's Auric stuff. Why are we going to go through there? Really?
Elaine just has her hands on your shoulders. Luven, you're going through?
Yeah, I understand if you don't want to. It's a little scary, but I'm sure Auric knew what he was doing.
And you have to do of your own free will, Nissa. So I will turn and watch Luven be consumed by fire, I'm assuming.
He takes a deep breath to kind of just make some marching motion as he goes into the fire at about the same pace that Auric did.
When you get up to it, there is a brief moment you're feeling like you're gonna get burned. And all of you hear screams that sound like Luven. As soon as he enters the flame, you lose sight of his body. Like, you see it get completely consumed. Luven, you walk to the other side, and there's Auric.
What kept you?
Hi there. Well, that was unpleasant.
Is everyone else coming?
I don't know.
So, real quick, Elaine, are you following right behind?
No. Does Glasha have all her armor on?
Almost. It takes a couple minutes to put on.
Yeah, I'm waiting for her to...
Okay, it'll be a moment. So, Luven, Auric, you are on the other side currently.
So, what's all this?
Well, it seems to be a statue, but are the others coming or not?
Let's give them a few minutes. They have their reservations.
If they have reservations, I'll just go back and get them.
But that might be against the spirit of the inscription.
I'll give them another minute.
Okay.
Elaine's going to extend a hand to her. Will you be taking up your post back at the pillars?
I'll wait here, if anything's left. And she just gestures towards the flame.
Well, perhaps we'll cross paths again. And then I'm going to lean down and look at Nissa and be like, are you ready?
No.
Ready?
Yeah.
All right. I'm also going to motion down to Oscar if he's on the ground for her to pick him up.
He's in my pocket. She's going to double check, make sure he's really tucked well away.
There's a moment where he peeks, like, above the pocket, goes right back in the pocket.
I know just how you feel, buddy. I know just how you
Like,
feel.
you feel him, like, curled up as deep into your pocket as he can possibly go.
I will step up and wait for Nissa to step up beside me, and then when she is, start walking through.
I will take a deep breath and follow.
Okay. It is really unpleasant for a brief second, and you pass right through.
Woo!
It doesn't take very long, but it would get to the point of, like, Auric, you might be feeling a little impatient when Elaine and Nissa arrive on the other side.
Where's the orc woman?
Left her.
How are we going to convince her clan not to attack us on sight?
I'm going to motion behind me to the wall of flame. I don't think they're passing through this.
Why not?
I think Rydaht is the only one that might be passing through this. Because she did not seem comfortable with the idea of coming through.
That's just because she didn't know that it wouldn't hurt her.
Neither did you.
I knew Yadamin would protect me.
Biggest eye roll.
Yep.
But she said that some of her clan members went with Rydaht and they went this way. And since they weren't here, that must mean they're up ahead.
Would you like to wait a moment to see if she's going to come through?
Did she give any indication that she'd be coming through?
She said she would wait there.
Then that doesn't sound like she's coming through.
Just going to give like a little shrug like, I'm not worried about that.
You want to go and fight more orcs?
What have you noticed about this room while you were waiting for us? Because I'm sure you weren't just sitting here with your thumb up your butt.
Oh, Auric is going to give a mean look at that. There's a statue here that looks to be of Avantir. It indicates that there may be something up the stairs behind it.
What languages is that inscription in as Orcs pointing it out?
Common.
I'll write it down as well.
So is there any, like, distinguishing features about Avantir?
He has flaming hair and beard in the statue. It definitely has, like, wisps like it's not hair. Like, it is a fire hair and beard.
You know, I think I'm sensing a theme.
Well, do we want to go back and get the orc, or do we want to forge ahead?
I'm fine with continuing on.
Could I just check the statue over first before we move past it, just in case?
Roll investigation.
20 total.
Looking at the statue, you notice the feet are not fused to the base.
Oh.
And there are arcane inscriptions on it that you kind of realize, like, they're all towards the front of it, kind of hidden a little bit around the feet. You do notice that there are a couple other similar arcane runes near the fire.
I would start pointing out the arcane symbols to Luven as soon as I saw them.
Roll an Arcana check for me.
13.
Based off of how you saw the other symbols on the bronze golem, and based off of the inscription that crossed you over the bridge, you get the feeling if you turn back, the statue might turn alive.
Oh.
Oh.
That was a close call.
Still want to go back and get her?
Maybe I'll pass for now.
Man, this place and statues.
So much for orc bravery.
So, what are you guys doing?
Well, if it looks like it's different than the golem that we encountered, maybe we should continue on then.
This one is made of stone, not bronze.
I guess Orc will start heading towards the stairs.
Okie dokie.
So, you are approaching these stairs that, as you get up to the base of, seems to just ascend for quite a while. You do have to walk single file on these stairs.
Orc will take the lead.
I'll be second.
I'll take the back.
Yeah, I'll go between you and Luven, yeah.
So, as you ascend the stairs, you hear some voices coming from up above you. Nothing specific at first.
Maybe try and be stealthy.
Whoever is attempting to be stealthy, roll a stealth check.
7.
19.
Also 19.
14.
As you guys are carefully stepping, you do hear ahead of you, clang, 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 as Oric seems to, hit the edge of the stair with his boot before his boot slams down on the stair, and then hit the edge of the next stair, and then slam down again.
Oric, take bigger steps so you don't clip the stairs.
Is that a height joke?
Pick your feet up, man. Stop scraping them along the floor.
Shh. As you are ascending the stairs, you do hear kind of a little bit of a scared voice. I believe this one has to do with Arlios, I think. And you can see the sword. Hold on. I don't know what this means.
Do we recognize the voice?
Sounds a little bit familiar.
Like the yelling from...
Yep.
Okay. Do we recognize the name that he says?
Roll a religion check, anyone who would like to. Nissa, you don't need to roll.
I know this name.
20 total.
8.
2.
Arlios is the lawful good god of justice and war.
Nissa is scowling right now.
He is usually a god that's prayed to for honorable combat. He is considered like a great judge, and he represents the alignment of lawful good. This is, by the way, that's Oric, you know all the rest. Luven, a god? You're pretty sure.
Would I know what Arlios' relation, if any, to Yadamine might be, since they are both lawful good gods?
Arlios is considered like a father to Yadamine.
Oh, so Orc would probably hold him in high respect then.
While Yadamine is the creator of dwarves and very much takes after Arlios in a lot of aspects of combat and arms and armor and stuff like that, Arlios is less focused on the forging aspect of it and much more on the honorable combat, battle, war, and justice. Nissa, you know the name. You know everything I just said.
Yep.
Psst, Oric. Arlios, that's a god, right?
Yeah, he's the father of my god Yadamine. A pretty great guy.
Oh, cool.
We should probably hurry, though.
You reach the top of the stairs. You hear Yadamine is mentioned. Hold on. And I'm pretty sure, okay, this one must be Vumera.
Dwarven curiosity has been piqued.
As you reach the top, you see a spherical chamber. The stairs kind of level out at a main platform that then hits another set of stairs that rise up to this centrally raised kind of podium, this platform. As you come up, you see 3 orcs on this platform, one on the stairway, and a 4th orc off kind of into the far corner of this circular chamber. Also on the platform, just past the orc on the stairway, is the spellweaver, who seems to be staring into the corner of the 4th orc, who also has a hand on a very scrawny figure who is partially obscured from you due to the large orc that's beside him. As you come up, the 3 orcs on the platform kind of just look towards the stairway as you ascend Orc.
Clunk, clunk, clunk.
But all eyes seem to be on Orc from the stairwell. So you come up, and this is the sight you see. This thin, scrawny humanoid figure, who you can kind of see is a half-elf, is just kind of reading what looks to be a lot of different designs along the walls of this place. You see small bits of script that's torn and broken, but you see several different items, weapons, and all of that drawn across the walls, all different types. All of the orcs, though, on the platform are holding great axes.
Well, of course. How far behind me is everyone else?
I'm assuming it's in a line,
Yeah.
but they're ducked lower than you.
Okay. And the orcs definitely notice me, right?
Seems like it.
I'll try and make like a non-threatening gesture and say to them, "We have allied ourselves with Glasha. We mean the orcs no harm."
Roll a persuasion check.
10.
You see them kind of glance over their shoulder at the spellweaver, and then you hear a voice in your head, Oric. You followed me here.
Aye.
What is your intention? He's not staring at you, by the way. He is staring towards the half-elven figure.
We're here to rescue Avelios.
I am using him right now. You can go.
I'm afraid we're going to have to pass on the offer.
Slow head turn towards you. This time you guys notice he doesn't have his hood up, and you notice an elongated neck that his head doesn't just turn, but swerves almost like that of a snake as it turns towards you, and he fixes you with completely black eyes. Has a look of like an owl in terms of his face, the way it's like all kind of, and his completely bald, pale skin just shifting as he looks towards you. I'm sorry, dwarf. I am using him right now. I can send him when I'm done.
So I'm going to kind of just file into the room and kind of off to the side to make room for the rest of the party to come in.
Okay. Are the rest of you coming in?
Yeah, I will also file off to the side.
Nissa, are you staying right in the doorway?
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'm staying right behind Nissa then.
Okay. As far as you can tell, it doesn't seem the orcs have noticed Luven, Nissa, or Elaine. All their attention seems to be on Oric. And the only reason you notice this is because Oric specifically shifted off to one side. Their eyes followed him. When Luven went into the room and shifted to the side, their eyes didn't go that way.
I'll call out to the spellweaver again. So, Rydaht, what are you looking for here? This appears to be a place of Avantir Anvilik.
Avantir used this place, crafting many items, or so he claims. This place is older than you can imagine, dwarf. I have been searching for it.
And what do you hope to accomplish?
To collect the treasures of the gods.
So, question for DM. Does that particular phrase, treasures of the gods, have any significant meaning?
Roll a history check.
6.
You've never heard that phrase before.
Treasures of the gods, you say? I'm not familiar with that.
His neck kind of twists almost completely 180, looks around the entire room, and you look and you see all sorts of images of items drawn up on the walls. The items of the gods, dwarf.
Are they made by the gods or for the gods?
I seek to find them. This place is one of many. They are not here. And his neck twists, and he kind of looks to the opposite side from where you're standing and seems to look towards something, but you can't see it from where you're at. I will find them. We will accomplish our goals.
And what goals might those be?
The return, dwarf. This time he's not staring at you. He's staring kind of just around the room.
The return of what, exactly?
Again, creepy neck swivel as his head turns to you and actually, like, goes sideways almost.
Ugh.
Hasn't Yadumin warned you?
Yadumin speaks to me of many things, but this place seems to be sacrilegious.
Of course he would think so.
So who exactly are you trying to return?
The most important one.
Yadumin?
You are sad, dwarf. When Yadumin dies, you will know. Perhaps I can send them after him next.
Oh. Dem's fighting words.
Oh no.
Oh no.
So I will try and cast Spiritual Weapon to appear on the other side of him.
Okay. I need everyone to roll initiative. Oric, as you initiated combat...
Does it actually go off? Or does he try and immediately counterspell it again?
Oh.
Nope, he does not.
Okay.
This time.
So it does go off.
Alright.
Where are you putting it?
Basically on the opposite side of him.
Okay, so you get to do this before we go into the turn orders. So, make an attack roll.
Does a 12 hit?
You swing, and his whole body kind of slithers slightly out of the way. So, top of the round, Nissa, you saw Oric do this, and everybody is going into reacting. As far as you can tell, though, no one knows that you're there.
I would like to try and cast sleep again.
Centered where?
I will move it further afield so that it won't catch us.
If you want it to not catch you, you have to basically put it at least where the spiritual weapon is.
I will place it there then.
In that back corner?
Yes.
Okay. And you can get all 3 of the orcs that are kind of on the platform and Rydaht. You sneak up, focus on the incantation, so you get a small pinch of sand, focus your energy, flick some towards the area, and release the spell. Though you are now revealed to the enemy.
Yes. That's a total of 23.
So as you release the spell, the orc that's on the stairs just crumples and falls down. The other 2 kind of shake their heads a little bit and shake out of it.
Okay.
Any movement or bonus action? Rydaht looks unaffected.
Of course he does. Of course he does. I will move into the room so I'm not blocking the doorway. Just come stand to one side.
So you scurry around Luven and tuck to the other side of him on the left side of the room. Rydaht is going to turn, look at you, Oric. You hear a sigh, and actually all of you kind of hear this in your heads as he just seems to send this out. I tried giving you a chance. Remember that. He holds up 6 hands, all spread out. In one, you see 3 points of light appear. In another, 3 more points. In a third, 3 more points. In a fourth, 3 more points. Nissa, you recognize Magic Missile.
Oh no. Yep.
And in his final 2 hands, you see him focus on another spell that he seems to be using both hands together. Looks over to you as well, Nissa. 1 hand shoots out to you as 3 bolts fly at you. Oric, 9 bolts fly at you. Nissa, you take 11 points of force damage as it just slams one into another against you. Oric, you take 32 points of force damage.
Are you still up?
Yeah, barely.
As just bolt after bolt slams into you, your armor slightly denting from the amount of actual pressure just slams again and again and again into your person. As he does this, his 2 hands together focus towards himself, and he vanishes from your sight.
Oh, of course.
What?
Oric, you're up.
I will use my bonus action to have my spiritual weapon try and swing at the place where he...
Go ahead and make an attack roll at disadvantage.
14.
You swing and don't hit anything.
I will cast Cure Wounds on myself at a level 1.
Okay. So you focus on yourself as a pulse of healing energy courses through you.
Could I have gone invisible, by the way? Because I took damage.
Okay. All of you watch as suddenly, after Nissa gets hit, she vanishes from sight.
I heal 10.
Okay.
And I think that's all I can do.
All right. The orc on the platform is going to hop down as he kind of lumbers down this raised platform. And he is going to take a swing at you. And Oric, you raise your shield as it hits the side of your shield and barely misses you. Elaine, you're up.
All right, so charging up to here, bamf, into a axe beak. Could I keep running to here? I know that would take attack of opportunity.
So if you want to run across the lower half of the platform, right by the one sleeping orc and the one attacking Oric, you could. It'd be double movement, but yes.
But an axe beak has 50 feet of movement, so I can get to there, right?
Oh, yeah. You will take 2 attacks of opportunity, though. Because you are headed to the half-elven figure, and you'll be passing the other orc that is still on the platform.
That's fine.
So both hit, and I know you said for your bonus action you were raging, so this will be half damage, correct?
Yes.
One is 13 halved to 6,
Okay.
11 halved to 5. So total of 11 points of damage.
Still in my axe beak form.
So you run up the stairs, get up, and rage, roaring out, shifting as you do into your large axe beak form as you step on the stairs to leap over towards the orc in the back of the room that has a hand on the scrawny Halfif man. As you pass, 2 axes come across and hack across your hide.
Okay, that's it for my turn, and I don't have anything else.
The orc that is right there in front of you is going to release his hand off the half-elf, draw his great axe, and take a swing. That is going to hit. 14 reduced to 7.
I am still an axe beak.
You kind of come up, he lets go, pulls his great axe, turns, and slams it into the chest of your axe beak, drawing it across.
I am going to squawk violently in his face.
But that is all that orc can do. Luven, you're up.
So Oric looks pretty bad, huh?
Yeah.
Handing one to him, would that be a free action?
We can say as part of your movement, you put it towards his feet, so he can just pick it up as part of his movement.
Sure, I do that.
Yep.
Right after Elaine does her violent squawking of terror, Luven's suddenly going to, kind of just billow his overcoat a bit manually, whoosh, with his arms. Fearsome orcs of the Nightmare Skull, behold the fierce warrior Elaine who broke through your magic wall unharmed, worthy adversary to Rydaht. Join us now in fierce combat.
Roll persuasion at disadvantage.
17.
You will see if that has an effect.
So, think I'm gonna use a Shield of Faith on Oric.
AC 21.
Nice.
That's my turn.
One orc is asleep. The orc that's up on the platform looks confused, stares at the giant bird, stares back at you, and currently is uncertain what to do.
Yay.
You see the half-elven figure look at the giant bird that just squawked in the general direction there and just... "Ah!" And he kind of goes all the way into the corner and tucks down, having disengaged from the orc that's there.
Awesome.
And hides in the corner just like, Nissa, you are invisible. Mm-hmm. What would you like to do?
None of the orcs have attacked since Luven did his speech.
No.
I'm going to hold for the moment.
What are you holding? And what is the trigger?
I'm going to move over to where Luven and Auric are, and if the orc that's in front of Auric attacks him again, I'm going to attack with my short sword.
Okay. So I need everyone to make a wisdom saving throw as Rydaht appears on the far left side of the room and begins to cast. You see 3 of his hands work together as they focus in on a spot and seem to start to kind of compress. His other 3 hands each point 1 to Elaine, 1 to Auric, and 1 to Nissa. So, wisdom save.
19.
15.
18.
Nissa, Elaine, you feel this pressure kind of build around you for a moment, but you shrug it off. Auric and Luven, you feel as if something starts to almost stick to you. Your muscles move with difficulty. Your speech slows.
Oh no.
You have the slow effect cast on both of you. You have a -2 to your AC and dex saves. You cannot take reactions. You can take either an action or a bonus action on your turn, but not both. If you cast a spell with a casting time of 1 action, you have to roll a d20 to see if it actually goes off. Oh, and your speed is halved, by the way. So, Auric, you are up.
I'm going to use my bonus action to move my spiritual weapon and attack him.
Okay.
Does a 16 hit?
So you go to swing, and you see he raises a hand as a shield forms around him and slams against the shield.
So it would have hit.
Yes.
I'll call out to the orcs in my slow motion voice. Like, don't be intimidated by him.
Okay. Nissa, you see the orc in front of Auric kind of look at Luven, look at the axe beak, look at Rydaht, and then go to swing at Auric.
I would like to swing my short sword, please. It was a 1.
Complete miss. So you don't accidentally stab anybody.
Good.
However, he did hit Auric. He rolled a crit.
Oh, no.
No.
16 points of damage. As you're trying to shift away and your armor caught a lot of it, but the axe catches into your collar and he just drags it across for a moment. Oh, did you roll a wisdom save at the end of your turn?
No, I didn't.
I mean, he still crit on you, but go ahead and roll the save.
15.
Still. You feel like you're close, but not quite. Elaine.
I am going to just kind of slide around and put myself between that orc and this guy. And as I'm kind of sliding around, I am going to kind of look at him and give almost like a chirp purr sound, like a friendly sound in his direction. And then turn back menacingly to the orc and squawk loudly in his face as a full action of intimidation to try to scare him to not attack me.
Go ahead and roll Intimidate.
18 total.
Okay. So you squawk in his face.
Oh yeah, little bits of spittle and everything coming out, hitting him in the face.
So he's pulling away from you, and he's like, okay, not you. He looks like he's scared of you.
But he's heading towards
But
Auric.
he might be going for Auric.
Alright, and then I'm gonna take that attack of opportunity, like, no, that's not what I'm saying.
Attack roll.
Another nat 20. 17 points of damage.
How do you want to do it?
Can I do non-lethal with a beak?
It's a melee attack, so you can always do non-lethal. Would you like it to be non-lethal?
Yes, if that's an option.
You go and kind of focus, and since you know specifically you're not trying to kill him, you have a massive beak. His head is a little small. So with a quick wah, your beak just closed, comes down on his head as he just smacks into the ground motionless.
I basically just cracked his head like a coconut.
I mean, yes. Luven, you're up.
We will be the victors. Join us. And his fist slowly pumps up into the air.
Slow motion fist bump.
Roll your persuasion check.
21.
Okay. There is Sleepy Time Orc.
He had some tea.
The orc that's on the platform takes a few steps back and just holds and looks. It seems he's not interested in trying to kill you right now. The half-elf successfully does not wet himself. Nissa, you are up.
Spellweaver's visible at the moment?
He is visible.
Okay, I'm just going to chuck a regular dart at this guy then.
Okay, make an attack roll.
23 to hit.
That'll do it.
5 points of damage.
Nissa, you turn away from the orc that was attacking Auric, hurl a dart. As you see, he's been focusing on the shield that's up and looking at the spiritual weapon beside him. As he turns, it breaks through the shield and slices across his side. And he looks down as you see a purplish blood kind of come from the wound. You see kind of his eyes look down and his head, snake-like, curve up and look back straight at you.
Oh no.
Any movement, Nissa?
No, I'm going to stay where I am for now.
All right. You see one hand focused towards you, Elaine, one towards you, Nissa, and one towards you, Auric. As one hand focuses and you see dark energy kind of form along it and seem to extend the hand out as a skeletal hand starts to form one beside each of you. In his other 3 hands, you see balls of fire begin to form as he hurls those 2 towards Luven and 1 towards you, Nissa. So, first one for Elaine, 16 to hit.
Yeah.
10 points of necrotic damage. As this hand grasps you and pulls the life force from you, you also can't heal on your next turn.
I am back to my normal self as well.
Next will be Nissa, as 2 effects are coming at you. 1 hits the first one. The firebolt misses. Nissa, you take 6 points of necrotic damage and cannot heal until the start of your next turn. 2 firebolts towards Luven. One is a 19, the other is an 8. You take 11 points of fire damage.
Everything's fine.
And Auric, you had one of those spectral hands by you, and that is a 22 to hit you.
I'm unconscious then.
So Auric is down. However, with all of this, as this is all happening and he is releasing 6 different cantrips, one of the firebolts explodes in his own hand. He looks around. It seems even the magic of the room kind of enhanced and caused an arcane mishap.
Speaking of arcane mishaps, my concentration total was a 4.
It is gone. Auric, I need a death saving throw.
Yeah. Natural 20!
Yes!
This is the first one I've finally gotten tonight, and it actually counted.
You are at 1 HP.
Yay! Nothing lost.
And are prone, but yes.
Am I still under the effects of slow? Or
Roll a wisdom save.
17.
Not anymore. You feel so good right now compared to how you did a moment ago.
Just a scratch.
So, now the orc that is standing over Auric is going to take a swing down at him. It's a 19 on the die. So, Auric, you are back at 0 HP. Elaine.
I'm back in my normal self, but I'm still raging.
Yes.
Action to turn into an axe beak and charge across to get right in this dude's face.
So, you're leaping across the platform to face off against Rydaht.
And then bonus action to squawk loudly at his face.
Okay. Luven.
I pick up the potion that's just right next to Auric's hand.
Okay.
And I administer the potion. 9 HP back. And I'm still slowed.
Roll a wisdom save.
16?
And with that, you feel the effects wear off.
Ah, alright.
We have Sleepy Time Orc. Orc that is not so sure you guys are going to win, but is still not siding against you.
I'm okay with this.
Which brings us all the way to Nissa.
Short sword attack to the orc in front of me, please.
Okay.
19 to hit.
That'll hit.
15 points of damage total.
How do you want to do it?
As close to his heart as I can reach. I've had enough of this guy.
Okay. You stab him in the back of the knee first, yank it across as he drops down to one knee. You just shove the blade straight into his chest, and he crumples over.
That one's very
That
dead.
one is
That one's
definitely
very
dead.
Enough. Enough of these guys.
You still have bonus action and movement.
Would I be able to bonus action chuck a dart at spellweaver?
Sure.
I will do that. 17 to hit.
So you hurl the dagger, and he raises a hand as a shield forms again. Technically, he raises 2 hands.
I hate this guy.
Yep.
And it's his turn.
And there's a big ol' axe beak in his face.
Squawk!
He's going to look around the room. You hear all in your heads, this is yours for now. 4 arms come up in 4 separate corners. They start to draw what seems like a doorway as it forms, and he steps through, and he vanishes from sight.
Whatever, we lived.
Knew he had
That's not the point. I wanted to murder
Knew he
him.
had that spell.
So, he is gone. The currently alive orc is just looking at all of you. You're out of initiative. What would you like to do?
I would like to start casting Prayer of Healing to heal us all.
I'd like to look around the room for shinies or anything of interest.
Investigation check.
I am going to shriek loudly at the sky in my bird form, and then revert
You're shrieking
back.
at a ceiling, but yes. So, your Prayer of Healing is going to go off, so you can go ahead and roll that. The orc is not going to attack you. The orc that's asleep is going to wake up and kind of look around and also not attack because he's like, what happened?
He's confused.
So the Prayer of Healing, it targets 6 creatures. It takes 10 minutes.
He's going to wake up before it's done.
Oh, okay. Because I was going to heal him as well.
He's not hurt. The guy who's unconscious is hurt.
Yeah, I was going to do the one that was unconscious.
Yeah, I would have gone over and done like a medicine check too while we're reading, just to make sure he's not bleeding out because I cracked his skull open, you know.
Go ahead and roll medicine check. Nissa, what's your investigation roll?
Only a 10.
Elaine, what's your medicine check?
6.
Doesn't seem like he's dying, but you don't know. There is some blood on the ground. Luven, what are you doing?
I'd like to begin examining and sketching these images on the wall.
Okay. You notice a lot of the images seem incomplete, as if it's like cracked and destroyed and it's fallen away, but there's some partial imagery of 23 different things.
Okay. Oh, and a quick turn to our cowering guest. You okay?
Who are you? Where you come from?
We were sent to help you.
From who?
Dorora Elfakir and Salazar Gallerina.
So you're looking... Okay. He looks slightly confused. Dorora who's... Okay.
The Nethany.
Oh, okay. He's just staring from each of you. Really confused. What was the heal?
10.
Okay, so everyone gets back 10. The orc that Elaine was pretty sure was dead kind of gets up from the healing. Yeah, the orcs are kind of just cautiously staring at all of you. But looking around the room, I will go into Nissa's investigation. With a 10, you're looking around. There seems to be only the stairway that leads out of this room. On the opposite side, where the half-elven man was cowering, you see kind of a circular glass that's in the wall, almost like you would put a window, but on the other side is just wall. You see on the central platform in the dead center is kind of a recess for what looks like could be a gem of some sort. Like a gem could go there, but there's nothing currently there. There are arcane runes all over the place, but they're mostly cracked and damaged. And then there's the imagery of a bunch of different weapons, some armor, like a bow. There's a couple of staves on the wall. Each one has its own very specific design as well. For example, there's like this plate armor design on the wall that looks like it's got spikes off its shoulders, and its arms look like where the gauntlets would be, seem like they're wrapped with chain. There's a warhammer, a silvery blue, another one that's red-black, that are crossed. Orc, you do recognize the symbol of Yadumin on the silver blue warhammer. And there's writing beneath it. You see basically a lot of different symbols to deities in this room, but almost everything is cracked and damaged. There's stuff like these boots that look like they have spider webs on them, gloves that have spiked fingers, a silver circlet, there's a glass ball. You see a bow that looks like, almost like it's a part of branches of a tree. Platinum mace, an onyx sword like a khopesh, but I can send you the list so you know what all the imagery are.
You said it all looks damaged. Does it look like the damage is recent or like it's been there a long time?
Oh, it's been there for a while.
Okay.
Like over time.
Okay.
This is basically an artificer's playground.
And that is where we're going to leave this episode for today.
Thank you all for listening. Please share this with your friends and follow us on Twitter @RulesAsWritten, or check out our website, dndraw.com. And feel free to email any questions to the DM at dm@dndraw.com. Also, subscribe and leave us a review or comment anywhere podcasts are found, and please check out our Patreon at patreon.com/dndraw. Thanks for listening and have an awesome week.